Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Reverend Wilkin.
Father in heaven, we thank you for this time to come together. We pray for wisdom and discernment. We pray for Teresa, for Stephen, for Joseph, and Mayor Snow. Father, may your wisdom come upon them, your discernment. May they continue to lead the activities of the village and for the good of each and every one and for all. So we ask a prayer for a blessing upon this meeting and its proceedings. We pray this in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Good evening, everyone. Okay, first thing we gotta do is public hearing. Jody, you want to read the notice, please?
Notice is hereby given that a public hearing will be held by the Board of Trustees of the Village of Walton at 21 North Street, Walton, New York, on the 4th day of June at 6 p.m. to hear public opinion amending Village Code, Chapter 22, Section 11.1, grass, brush, and weeds, to change the grass height from 10 inches to 8 inches. All interested parties and citizens will be heard who are for or against this addition.
Okay, we need a motion to open up the public hearing.
I make that motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Is there anyone in the, well, not many in the big choice, anybody want to say anything about that, regarding that? Any comment by the board for any reason? If not, I need a motion to close the hearing.
Do you want to say anything?
Nope.
I make a motion to close the public hearing.
Second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Now we need a motion to pass the law.
I make that motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Thank you.
And it takes effect when?
As soon as it's filed with the Secretary of State. So probably by the end of the week.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, number 2 on the list is public input. If anyone cares to say anything or discuss anything, now's the time. Okay. I will discuss yours when it comes up to my thing, okay? Department heads. Jason, you're first.
Pretty short tonight. Did everybody get my report okay?
Yes.
Yes, thank you.
Any questions on the report? No requests this month for purchases. Just give you an update. We're working with Turnkey to replace conduit in the Seabud building, which has been bad for quite a while. They've got material order. They should be getting started hopefully this week on that. We do have money budgeted next year with the city to keep going with that should we need to. And I'm working on quotes to get the parking lot repaired, so hopefully we can get rolling with that here as summer goes and the new budget comes along. Other than that, that's all I have for you tonight.
How are we doing on the water flow into the plant from, you know?
It's down now from where it was. I know Crafts Production's down a little bit. They're having some in-house issues over there with equipment. They're planning a shutdown in July, so I anticipate after that they'll come back up, but with this type of weather, you know, the trees are sucking more water too, so the groundwater's down a little bit. Good. So, but the flows have come down about, what we figured, about 250,000 gallons this month from last month, for an average. So,
what is our limit per, is it
1.55
million? It's a 5.5, okay.
Yeah, we were 1.34. Last month we were right there. We were just under it. So we haven't violated the limit, but
we're getting close then.
Hopefully we don't, but if we have a really wet summer and Crafts production's up, then we could we could get.
Well, hopefully, if it stops raining for a while, Matt and everybody can get over there and with Bill, and we can take care of, we know where there's one big leak
Yeah.
that we can take care of, but it's just, it's been,
Yeah, the weather hasn't
The weather's
cooperated
been
at all.
terrible.
So it's down enough now. We had a third clarifier online. We've taken that offline and cleaned that out. So, you know, it's down enough that we can do that. We're still running 3 filters in the Seabud building, which isn't typical, but we have to with Kraft's fluctuation just to, you know, carry the flow. So, but other than that, it has dropped some.
and the turbidity's been okay.
The turbidity's been fine. We have had some instances where it's come up, but we've been able to catch it with the chemical. And of course, all that extra water coming in, as much as you want to complain about it, dilution at times is a solution. So,
Dilution is a solution. I like
Yeah,
that.
I like
That's
that.
good.
I can't take credit for that. So the turbidities we haven't violated. We've been good on that front. So hopefully that keeps going.
Okay, good.
So we're still cognizant of our I&I issue, and we have identified certain areas.
Right.
And as time, or as it permits to fix those I&Is, we are continuing
Right.
to plan on doing that.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
Okay,
we're in good shape there.
thank you.
Yep.
Bill?
Hello, everybody.
Hi, Bill.
Not too much tonight from my end. At the wastewater treatment plant, the grit screw work, we've got the design put together for that, planning to go to bid, and it'll be done over the summer and fall to replace that part, which has been requested by the DEC and DEP. Lighting repairs were completed earlier this spring, and we should be able to request a rebate from NYSEG because we went to LEDs. So when we did another one of the buildings, I think we paid about $12,000 for the construction work, and I think we got a credit of $800 or $1,000. So this time we did $20,000 of construction work. So you know, if we can get a few dollars back. Water system, we've talked about that at a few different meetings. Looking at some different options there for planned water main replacement and also other needs, possibly the tanks that we may need to do some repairs on. So looking at different options there. Shepherd Street repairs to the embankment there where the guide rails are tipping out and the wall's in pretty rough shape. Still trading paperwork back and forth with DASNY, but we're hoping that'll be able to be a summer project once we get commitment from them that they'll provide their portion of the funding and then finalize exactly what the repair is going to be there and how that's going to shake out. But that's something that does need to be done to keep that road, passable.
Once they pass it, when we get the money, it'll be fairly short time that we can get the people down here to work on that.
Yeah.
But they're aware of it, right? They know.
Yeah, we had a proposal from the folks that do the soil nails. They actually just got an email from them last week. They're awarded the work as like a part of a county bid, kind of like the Cobleskill with the paving, and the same contractor got the county bid again this year for that work. So they're usually in this area once or twice during the summer and fall.
Okay.
So we try to piggyback on other stuff that the county and other neighbors are doing. So we'll touch base with them. We had applied for money to Delaware County Soil and Water Conservation District to put in what we call rock veins in the streams where we have utility crossings. And I believe we got a letter this past week that it looks like at least a portion of that project is going to be funded. So we'll look to prioritize where we think the most.
I think we're going to get it wrong because they mentioned the 14 crossings. And I'm on the flood commission.
Right.
Steve was there too. And of all the projects that were submitted, this particular project was number one.
Right.
That was approved that way. So
It's valid.
So I think this is good. Finally, we got something good for us.
Right.
Okay.
So, we'll look to proceed with that as the funding and whatnot come through. CWC, and Steve will probably touch base on it too, but a couple different things we're looking at with them. One is the feasibility studies for the 5 properties that were identified. CWC is going to provide funding to conduct a feasibility study to look at flood proofing and making the facilities more resilient and to flooding and storm events. So that should be starting soon. And also looking at another project to request funding to CWC through their stormwater retrofit program to do an assessment and review of kind of all the stormwater facilities throughout the village, and develop kind of a management plan, and identify areas where improvements could be made, you know, as funding may allow. So starting that process as well.
Okay.
So that's all I had to ask for tonight. Nothing to ask.
That's good, no money, that's good.
Thank you.
Thank you. Matt?
No money for me either.
Yay.
Maybe. Yeah, and that sewer lateral Jason was talking about, I did look at that today, and there's very little flow coming out of that right now, so we might be able to do something with it very shortly.
Good.
With all that water in.
Well, you hear the next couple of days it's supposed to rain again.
Right, I know.
Then we get 2 days off and then 2 more days of rain again, so. As soon as you can, let's get going on it.
Everyone get a
At least
copy?
get it patched on one side so it doesn't leak into it.
Everyone get a copy of the report?
Yes, thank you.
Yes.
Any questions?
No, I don't.
Other than I had a call, there's a lot of water coming down Townsend Street. Just to remind people that they're starting to flush hydrants.
No.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I called Ron Golly and asked him to put it on WDLA.
it was on, I
Yeah.
heard it, you know.
Yeah.
called me.
Do you want to talk about that one sidewalk now? Or you
Yes.
wanna- Up at the, you just told them, talked about it tonight.
I'm gonna read the letter. I didn't read it. I usually read the letter.
Well, there's two different sidewalk issues we want
I
to
had
talk
one
about.
that just popped up
Oh, okay.
today,
This
Which one is it?
this one's at the library.
the library. A guy contacted me. They want to do the 50-50 on the sidewalk in front of the library from where the post office concrete ends to Gardner Place. The only different thing is with this one is they want to do bluestone, which we don't pay for.
Right.
So what he asked me is, could he use what it would cost in concrete to help offset the cost of bluestone, because they have to do bluestone to try to leave it as it was as an historical type building.
I think they did that before, when they originally placed.
They did it, and on the North Street side, they put the narrower sidewalk again.
Yeah, I think they requested that, gosh, probably 15 years ago anyways.
Before my time.
Before me.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure, could be wrong, but I remember something with, because they wanted to go bluestone, or they had to go bluestone.
Right.
I don't know what records you can check to see if that was approved 15 years ago to do that, but
I did measure it, and I do have a price for you.
How much?
$1,125.
They say how soon they want to start the project.
He did not, no.
Okay, so I haven't heard them talk about it either. I think Kurt Van Buren's the clerk of the works on that
Yep,
one.
that's who contacted.
Well, what is the feeling about that? What does everybody feel?
is there money in that particular line item?
There's $2,000 budgeted this year, so that's pretty much
That
gonna,
would take up the whole thing.
Yeah.
So just to recap, the village has had that program in place for years. That
Right.
if a homeowner wanted to replace his sidewalk in front of their house, they can apply to do the labor and the village would pay for the concrete.
Yes,
We used to
I-
call it 50/50.
But we only got,
This is the same thing, except they don't want to, they can't put
Yeah, I got it.
concrete. And our portion would have been that amount. So I move that we approve that amount as,
is there a second?
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Just remember now that we only got 2,000 in that thing, so anybody else asks, it was the first come, first served.
Definitely leave it as $1,125.
Right,
That's it.
yeah.
Okay.
Because we may get someone who has a small area that $800 or $900 could do it too.
has there been a lot of usage over the past couple of years in that particular line item?
sporadic.
Yeah.
Sporadic, a couple.
One or two a year, it seems. And some is just a 5x5 slab
Yeah,
here and there.
Okay, well,
okay.
so it is out there and it's used.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's good.
All right, that it?
Yep. You're gonna talk about
I'm gonna talk about the
later.
other thing, yeah.
All
Okay,
right, thank you.
thank you.
Thanks, Matt.
Thanks, Matt.
Steve?
Let's say which Steve when you say Steve.
Oh, that's right, we got three now.
We have
That's right.
Steven, Steve, and...
Way too many.
Oh, you're telling us?
Mr. Dutcher.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Hi, Steve.
Everybody got my report?
Yes, thank you.
We just, the end of last week, received the manuscript and workbook for the recodification process that we got started, seems like forever ago now.
The what?
Recodification. They're taking a look at our, you guys are kind of new to this.
New code.
They're taking a look at our code and making it make sense, because things have been amended and changed over the years, and you got little bits and pieces here and there. So it was time to kind of take a look at it and make the code whole again. So we actually have 3 of these workbooks. I've already made a copy of, the front section, which is the actual workbook. It's where they've done an analysis. They have a question, we need to answer the question. So they basically formatted that for us. Go through, check boxes, fill in blanks, whatever the case may be. So I've made a copy of that section, sent it to our attorney so that he has it, so that he can do his legal review, give us his opinion on what he thinks we should do with particular questions. Steve has a copy of the book, and I've been in contact with Andy Jackson, planning board chair. When he gets back from goofing off, then he's going to get a hold of me, and we will schedule time to sit down and start going through this, and would like to probably see if we can get a hold of Dave and have him come sit down with us and kind of go through it together, so that we can get we've got till the 19th of October to do our review of it and get it back to him, but we'll get started as soon as we can.
Yeah, sooner is better than later.
Because if we wait till the 1st of October, we're going to be in deep trouble.
Was this a mandated thing by...
No.
No,
No?
no.
We just took the opportunity to update.
No.
Yeah, no, that's good, because when's the last time it's been done?
Well, that's just it. I mean, I think
Quite a while.
the original
Yeah.
code, I think, was, well, early 1900s. This contained, it contained some stuff from the
And some of them we had looked at, some of the old, you're like,
Oh, yeah.
boy, I can't believe they still have that in the book.
Can't watch
Park my
movies on
horse
Sundays and...
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. There is one question in here, I'll go ahead and ask it while I have everybody's attention. Basically, this goes through, and I'm going to struggle finding, our contract, our initial contract was they would do everything through local law number 1 of 2016. And I think we had 4 local laws in 2017
Yes.
that's not included as part of that. And then, like what you did tonight with the grass, that's an amendment. That would be an extra charge. So the question from them is, do you want them to give us an estimate of what it would cost to include that in there, or do we just want to do it? To me, it just makes sense to do it. I don't think it's going to cost an arm and a leg. I can get a price if you wish.
Right. Otherwise, it isn't complete.
Right, it doesn't make sense.
It's brand new and still not complete.
Right.
So.
So, if you want me to just check the block to go ahead and, no estimate is required, just go ahead and do whatever we send them, because we're going to have other stuff that we're going to send them between now and the time that they actually produce it.
Right.
So, all right, so I will do that.
Now, was this budgeted at some point to do this, or?
Yes, it was broken up over 3 years.
Okay.
Yes, they actually give us this is what they do for a living, so, and they understand how municipalities work. So they schedule up their payment plan so that you're not taking it all out of one budget year.
We need to put it in the budget.
Okay. So, what was the original contract cost?
I don't remember off the top of my head.
That's, don't research it now, that's fine, just
I got it here somewhere,
Right there.
13.5.
spread over 3 years.
Over 3 years.
And that didn't include the updates in each year, though?
That just doesn't include from the time that we signed the contract
Anything new we've just
Right.
done?
until the time it gets produced, which, like I said, we have till October 19th
to do our review. And then it's a shorter period, it's like a 60 days. Within 60 days from that date, they'll have their final product.
Okay.
Okay, so, and then they will also produce, because all of this has to be basically adopted as a local law. So they will produce all of the documentation for that. So, you know, we don't even have to have the attorney at that point do that for us. It will be done. And then, you know, at January, February timeframe board meeting, they would adopt it.
Written, user-friendly, and here's where I'm going with that. Once that's all done, and we put it on the web page, and somebody has a question about a code, they go to the web page and they can read it. Can the average person understand that the way they're writing it?
Well, that was one of their, wasn't that one of their hypes, that it was in new language?
Well, it's going to be formatted better than what it was, yes. In terms of it being on our webpage, we have options through them. We can PDF the final document and put it on our webpage as it is now. You can also, basically, they maintain off-site.
I think what Joe's asking is it's got to be in a way that the average person can read it and understand it.
It's still law, so it's still
law.
going to be kind of
Right.
legalish.
Right.
Okay.
It's still going to be painful, but, you know, at some point, there needs to be a decision made in terms of, do we want to take this to the next level and have it more user-friendly? Because if you had a question about sidewalks, seems to be the topic tonight, right? So you could go, if you get the full package, so to speak.
You could type in sidewalk.
You could type in sidewalk, and it will pull up every piece of code that refers to sidewalk would pop up. So
before we make a final closing on this,
right,
that's what we should add. How much extra would cost to do that?
Right. Yep.
But that might be the way to go if it's not something exorbitant. You know?
Right.
Is it only going to be online, or will there be hard copies?
No, there will be hard copies, yes. Yep, we'll have, I think we got, we'll
Not
have
as
5
many
books.
as we do now, but
But there won't be, they will be full-size like this, because like my code book currently is, you know, tiny.
One, yeah.
So in terms of in-office use, it'll be easier as far as making copies if somebody needs a copy of something, that sort of stuff. So it'll be good when it's done.
Okay.
Thanks, Steve.
Yep. Anything else?
I have a question about the lawns. You have lawns cited, and you said no mowers have been hired as of yet. Has anybody called you at all?
I have not heard anything.
Have you, could you contact the people that we used to know?
That would be collusion.
That would be collusion?
Yes. We're putting out for bid. I can't go call one person and say, hey, you want to come work for us.
Well, I don't mean it that way. I'm saying, like, are you aware
if
of
I'm not covering everybody that mows a lawn in this area with a phone call, which I don't think I could possibly do, because I don't know them all, then I'm giving preferential treatment over one person over another.
So if no one...
If anybody calls in, you're who they want to speak to?
Myself or Jody.
And no one's called you either, right?
Yep.
We've had the ad in the paper, so. My thing is, I'm just concerned that if no one calls up and we got all these violations, who's gonna cut the grass?
Right, and that's a decision that's, you know, we're gonna have to make. I don't know how long you wanna let the ad percolate before we decide that we need to do something different.
Is it going in again, the ad, or is it just at one time?
I told them 2 weeks, but I'm just writing a note to check.
Just double check. It should be at least a couple weeks and see.
Right. Yep. I cited 29 lawns, actually 10 days ago. Actually, today's the last day that they had to mow them. The majority, I didn't go canvas because they still have till midnight tonight. I will go look tomorrow. But just in my travels, knowing what I cited, it looks like the majority of them have been taken care of.
I ride around every morning. I think most of them are done too.
Yeah.
Can Ron read the ad on the radio?
Yeah. Melissa, you can put it in your article too, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I'm sure you will. Okay. I appreciate that. Okay, that was my only concern.
All right. Just another thing too
Yes.
is, and that it was brought up, I know Steve and I had talked about it too, we've seen the complaint about doing potholes in their parking lots. Has everybody been taken care of that needs to be taken care of for the parking lots?
No.
Have they been talked to?
They've been talked to. I actually sent out another letter today. I'm waiting for a phone call back from another individual who I have not addressed in the past.
Okay.
And I always try to start these things with a conversation. I don't want to get the bat out, you know, right from the get-go. So I'm waiting for a call back from that individual. You know, and if I don't hear from, I suspect I will hear from them. If I don't hear from them, say by the end of the week, I'll probably just send them a letter and say, hey, you know.
And it's truthful what I've been telling people, because the thing around the street is they've been picked on. And I said, no, they've been talked to several times beforehand, and I just want to make sure that's factual.
Yeah.
I put that on social media.
Yeah.
I had to respond to somebody's tomfoolery, and I said that everybody was spoken to.
Exactly. That's
Everybody.
exactly what I've been telling people too.
All the
It isn't like they've just been singled out and
Oh,
this
no.
is the first
No,
time
no.
you're getting
And
fined.
I've
you've been
got a number of
talked to.
phone calls too, and I explained to them, do you look before you talk to me? Because they were talking about the Dollar General. And I said, well, have you gone and looked at although they did them all. And they said, well, Delaware Street. I said, well, have you seen the DOT has finished all of Delaware Street? And then they mentioned the Big M. I said, well, have you gone and see the Big M? Big M is done.
Right.
So there are, in fact, a good portion of them done already. There are 3 or 4 locations that need to be done, but no one is being picked on individually. They're, as a group, we're going around.
And there's, you know, every year Big M parking lot has potholes in the spring, and every year Big M parking lot gets taken care of.
Right.
Right.
You know, that was one of the properties on my potential list to go visit, but I put him at the bottom of the list because every year he takes care of his parking lot.
It's all been good. Yeah.
So, no, nobody's getting picked on, and, you know,
Exactly.
I
I just wanted to make sure and everybody could hear.
well,
it.
you know,
That's-
and I get tired of hearing, you know, Dutcher is bad for business, Dutcher is trying to shut down. I get tired of hearing that because,
The
you
thing
know.
is, if people just stopped and realized, if people just took care of what was theirs,
Right.
it would be, I mean, it'd be,
Yep,
we need to make Walton look nice again.
yep, yep.
And if everybody just took care of what was theirs, it would
lot
make
of-
it look nicer.
A lot of these businesses, you know, I operate purely from a safety standpoint. A lot of these businesses, half of their clientele are senior citizens.
Right.
You know, they drive through a bumpy parking lot,
Yep.
get out of their car, and they have to navigate potholes full of water and everything else to get to the front door of the business. That's not good.
No.
You know, it's not good. So,
And the holes do not fill themselves
No.
every spring. They
no.
don't.
Well, they fill with water, but
Yeah.
It's snow.
so
Okay.
yeah. Thank you for bringing that.
Okay. Good enough. Thank you.
Just to make it clear. So
I'm glad
everybody-
too, because now I don't have to give a report.
Well, that's, next thing up is trustee reports, and you're the first one this time.
Tag, you're at?
I think that Steve and Steve have covered everything that I need to talk about.
I mean, Steve doesn't need to say anything that Steve and Steve already said?
Teresa, anything you want
Oh,
to say?
I would add that
Oh, sorry.
this is now the month of June, so if anybody still has an issue with the code enforcer or the village with their potholes that they're responsible for, expect a violation. That's next.
Okay.
I'm going to speak on behalf of Chief Olson, who's working tonight. If he can get here, he will, but he is asking the board's permission to apply for a grant for new vests, bulletproof vests. So I would like to make the motion that we allow him to apply for that
I'll
grant.
second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Do we know how much
I
we're
don't.
doing?
No, I don't have the details, but he needed to get the
I'll find out
permission.
tomorrow morning, and give you the number on that.
It's going to be signed by you anyway, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Mr. Condon, you have anything?
I do.
Okay.
What are you laughing about?
Last name instead of first name.
Oh.
A lot of Steves here. I have to start doing, come up with different, we got 3 Steves here.
Yeah. I asked Brian to get a report. I'm going to be taking care of the Parks and Recreation, so he gave me a little bit of a report. The pool up there has been drained, power washed, and they're getting that ready to be painted. Paint's been ordered, should be here before Friday, and they should be able to get it painted, weather permitting. They've sent stuff to the school for the programs being offered at the park and the pool for them to have. The lifeguards and recreational employees, they have taken their CPR courses today, so they're all up to date. And we also have to do some, we're going to do that now, is the approval for those. Let me finish this and we'll do that then. Talked with Jody already about the phone up there.
And the internet.
In the internet, yep, she's aware of that. They've been called and they're going to be doing that. Sign up for swimming lessons in summer recreation programs. Are going to be at the pool starting on June 19th, 20th from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. And then summer recreational programs will begin on July 2nd and ending on August 9th. So that's what I got on Parks and Recreation. We already did stuff with the highway. And then I guess you've got that list there too, don't you, Jody?
I think you gave it to everybody?
Yep, you gave it to everybody.
Yep.
Everybody look at them, did they?
Mhm.
About all the employees for the water safety instructors, lifeguards, basketball instructor, and tennis instructor for the summer programs, and their wages there.
Did they get raises?
That I couldn't tell. I wasn't here last year.
I think some of them did to meet New York State minimum. It looks like on these, and I'm not sure about the WSIs. Looking at here, I don't know.
But the other ones did just to meet the state minimum.
Right.
Okay.
So I make a motion myself to approve these for their wages.
Is there a second on that?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Anything else? Mr. Condon?
That's it, Your Honor.
All right, good one. Joe?
Real short and quick. Theater Restoration Committee, the stage extension is in. What they're doing now is they're fabricating a holder that they can slide. Once they disassemble it, they can slide it under the stage and slide it back out when they need to use it. So they're going with that. Just to continue with what Teresa started years ago, we're still having a problem with the wipes at the sewer plant. Even though they say flushable, do not flush them down the toilet. It's causing havoc at our sewer plant. It's increasing maintenance costs, and it's just, it's not a good thing. So even though they say flushable, we request you do not flush them because of the issues at the sewer plant, so.
Flushable just means it will go down your toilet.
Right.
But
Doesn't mean it goes
when
through the
when
pumps
it
over there, does it?
arrives,
Right.
It's
At
a
the
nightmare.
pump,
Yes.
it's a nightmare.
It's a nightmare, so.
It's okay at point A, but when it gets to point E, we have a problem.
Yeah. And that concludes my report.
Thank you.
I had one thing, if I could back up.
Sure.
The library also asked if they could put those little library.
That's going to be on, okay, we can talk about it now.
Oh, is it on there? I didn't
Yeah.
see that.
Number
Oh, it
7.
is.
We can
Okay,
talk
it
about
is.
it now. Sorry, go ahead.
Yep,
The little
that's-
library at the pool.
Yep, that's the same things that they've been putting around town. I think there's one at Dollar General, one at Big M.
Yep.
And I'm not sure if there's one maybe over at the hospital. I can't remember, but I know there's a few of them around and they maintain it. They put the books in, take the books out,
a
whatever
little
it needs to be.
kiosk.
Yeah, no, I see it.
Yeah,
I
that's
don't-
great.
I don't see a problem.
So you
with it.
making a motion for that then?
I'll make a motion. We
Need a
put it at
second?
school for up to-
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried, thank you. Is that it for you guys? Okay. Next is my turn, mayor's report. I have a couple letters I like to read and a couple things I like to talk about. First letter I'm going to read. Dear Mayor Snow and the Village Board, on the following dates and times, I contacted Matthew Myers at 6 down at the plant, at the DPW. I left messages each time requesting him recalled. To date, no recall, no calls have been recalled. And I spoke to the individual and mentioned that sometimes we have a problem down there with that answering thing. They don't always get the message. But anyway, I was calling regarding the sidewalk that runs along the side of Miller Avenue to the intersection with St. James Street. The sluice pipe that runs under the end of my driveway. I respectfully request the sidewalk and sluice pipe be eliminated due to the current condition. Also, I would ask that the sidewalk in front of my home located at 30 St. John's be raised to eliminate the problem of standing water and ice since it's lower than the storm drain that it empties into. Therefore, this letter is putting you on notice that this sidewalk on St. James Street is defective. Please contact me. Sincerely, Mr. William Record. I spoke to Matt, and I've gone down, and Matt has looked at it. Right, Matt? We did it before up on Upper Delaware. We did that, take up the slabs.
Is that what it is, little pieces of slate? I saw them, but I didn't see.
Some of it's blacktop, some of it's...
Oh, okay.
It's a little mixed match of everything, I think, down through there. We looked at it.
So, you don't have a problem with doing that, right?
There's two different issues here.
Yeah, well, we're talking about the first issue first. Removing, taking up the sidewalk. There's like about 10 or 15 slabs. They're like this, they're not the old-fashioned slab.
Basically from Miller Avenue school property down to...
The corner.
Yeah.
St. John's.
It's all different kind of material, just pieced in. I'm not sure who put it in, when it was put in, way before me.
Okay, so, but if you're going up St. John Street and you turn on Miller Avenue, you're
On the left, right across from Genio.
Yeah, you're on that side, that sidewalk goes to nowhere,
Correct.
correct?
Yeah.
And it's dilapidated, and he's requesting to remove that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's requesting us to do that?
Yeah. We've done this before over on, what's that street that goes up Delaware? We did it in a few locations.
By
We took-
206, we just did it.
Huh?
New Street?
New Street, yeah. We took that out, New Street. There was one or two other places we've done that already.
Where we just took the tree down? By Ogden Street? Didn't we take a sidewalk out there?
Yeah, I think so, That's the first part of it. The second part of it is down, if you go down on the corner on St. John's and Miller, we had the same problem over on Burton Street. The actual catch basin is higher than where the water drains into. And we had this problem over on Burton Street, if you remember, right? Mm-hmm. And Matt went down with the guys, they filled it in a little bit so that the water drains into the catch basin and not stay there stagnant all the time. And that, since you did that over there, it worked out really well.
I looked at it, we may be able to take care of it with grinding the section, the blacktop out, and then redoing things.
Yep.
Maybe. We gotta shoot a little elevations. And
Yeah, see how it is.
the only other option is raising the actual sidewalk, which you're not gonna raise one slab, you're gonna have to go back a ways so you're not creating trip hazards.
Right. But it's something you look
But we'll
into.
definitely look into that.
Yeah.
But that catch basin's been there for years.
Yes.
Sidewalk's been there for years,
Mhm.
right? And it, all of a sudden is an issue, and I guess,
It could have been since the road was paved, I'm not completely
yeah.
sure.
Well,
It's something you're gonna
We're
address.
gonna look into that.
Yeah, okay.
Ms. Van, I'll let you speak up. You want to speak up on this?
Yeah,
It's your
the problem
property.
with the sidewalk is it pitches down so much when it comes to Miller and the corner there that it ends up with a very large, sometimes if it's a good torrential downpour, you can end up with 15 feet of water all the way around. It's like Matt was saying, if they cut at the end of the sidewalk, put a trough in, there is a drain pipe right there that goes into the storm sewer. I mean, they'd have to check and make sure that it's cleaned out, but it would be that simple. But in the wintertime, when that freezes, if you get rain and then it gets cold enough, it's like a ice skating pond out there, and there's no way to get the ice off of it.
So you're still in the process of trying to figure out a fix for this, okay.
Yeah.
And there's another catch basin on the lower end of that Miller Avenue, which we may be able to get it to flow that a lot easier than the upper one.
Yeah,
On the upper side.
all right.
I was looking at it today.
So we just need the okay to look into it and
But there's one
remove
more
the
thing.
side.
He asked about a sluice pipe. What is? what's-
On the driveway?
The very end, yeah, there's 2 of them, and they're right next to the street, and they're all rotted away.
Are you talking about going up Miller?
Yeah,
on Miller.
I live right on the corner
Right,
of Miller and
but-
St. John.
but
So
you're talking
you have
about
to turn and
going
go
up-
up Miller.
The sluice pipe under the driveway.
When you turn into our driveway, it's right there at the street. It's all rotted away. I've been trying to get stone in it. I beat it
Yeah,
down.
here's why I'm asking specifics. To get rid of a sidewalk that goes to nowhere is a lot easier than others that just don't want their sidewalk
Oh, yeah,
because of the
yeah, yeah,
shoveling.
yeah, right,
I just
right.
want to make that very clear.
Yeah.
Miller Avenue School isn't there
There's
anymore.
nothing there, right.
There doesn't need to be a sidewalk. So if a homeowner's asking us for permission to remove a sidewalk, which you have to do, and we're glad you're doing that, we want to make that very clear that this particular sidewalk does not go anywhere. It's in such disrepair, it would be better for the homeowner to have that removed, both the homeowner and the village to have that removed because that sidewalk doesn't go anywhere. And I just want to make sure that people understand the difference. If a sidewalk isn't necessary anymore because it doesn't go anywhere,
Right.
then I'd be in favor of that, but
What do you
Now,
want
it
to
looks
say?
like there's your actual driveway, and there was another one that used to be a driveway.
Yeah.
I've noticed that one.
I was told that that was originally a road going back through there. You know, like a little single lane. I don't know.
See, that one looks completely out of place. I don't even know why it was there.
Yeah.
I didn't notice the one in your actual driveway, which that may,
Is your driveway blacktopped?
Yes.
that's
It's
gonna.
not at the very
Yeah,
end.
that's gonna be a
I had to put
problem.
gravel down, so it's not gonna require any black topping or anything.
If they remove that sluice pipe, it's not gonna affect your blacktop, is that what you're saying?
No.
It ends before.
It's before.
Put down at all.
I see.
Okay. So you make a motion, we need a motion to do that. Anyone make a motion?
Matt, is this something that is feasible?
Everything's feasible.
In that case, I make the
be
motion.
careful.
Wow.
Be careful.
You guys
need a-
paid the big bucks.
I need a,
Yeah.
I need a second on it,
So what are we motioning to do?
to remove the sidewalk.
For us to remove the sidewalk?
Yep. And to look into where the water is by the catch basin, to see if we can put some blacktop or something in there to make the water flow better. He'll take a look at this.
I don't think we need a motion for
For the
that.
catch
That's
basin,
just,
no.
that's
That's
standard
normal,
maintenance.
yeah.
Okay.
But
For the sidewalk, yeah.
But for the removal of the sidewalk, because you said we've already set that precedence in
Right.
doing that,
Right,
that's what we're,
okay.
And
Yeah.
so you know we're gonna have to put something back in its place.
Well, does the sidewalk that exists there now adjoin 2 bodies of grass?
Yeah, right? Can't you
So
just put
we
some
would
dirt
just
there or
fill it
something?
and-
Just scrape it down a little
Just-
bit.
So
Yeah.
it'll just like one big lawn then?
Yeah,
So we'd have to get some topsoil and do it that way.
I still make the motion.
okay. Second?
Well, and as far as the sluice pipe, we're gonna leave that to your assessment? Or are we making a decision on that right now?
If it's not doing anything, and we're not tearing up any blacktop,
Right, so we're gonna, I mean, I feel like we
I didn't
should
even
give
notice
Matt
the one
that
in the
authority.
present driver, the upper one, it doesn't even make any sense why it was put in there. To begin
Yeah.
with.
We have to make them safe. If it's the hole, like he says, then
So you're gonna take the upper one out when you do the sidewalks then?
Yeah.
That's all crushed down and just laying up there
It won't
anyways?
take much to pull it up.
No,
Yeah.
it'd look like it would.
you're not talking a lot of time. I mean, it's relatively short distance. What, do you got 100 feet up there?
Yeah, maybe.
If that?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's, yeah, you're not talking,
And they're spaced apart too. It's not
right,
like
yeah,
even
it's,
like, the old fashioned sidewalk.
Restoration will take more than the actual.
right,
Yeah.
yeah.
Was there a second?
Huh?
Was there?
Is
no.
there a second?
I'll second.
There's a second, Teresa second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I
Opposed?
didn't know if I missed
Yeah,
it.
that's right, no, you didn't. All right. Okay? Okay, good.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And again, I mean, sometimes we have a problem with that recording down there, so it wasn't that, Matt is always good at getting back to somebody, so if he didn't, it was because that didn't stay on there, we have to check that out. That's why I called Dick, I want you to know that we usually get back to you right away,
That's,
okay?
all right,
All right.
thank you.
You're
Are you
welcome.
gonna read?
1 second.
Okay, I didn't know if it was in your file.
No, it wasn't.
Okay.
Next, I have a letter here to the Village of Walton, the Village of Walton Board. I'm requesting the reduction of the sewer portion of my water bill of 5,208.4 gallons. This is the amount of water that's used to fill my swimming pool. The meter readings are so-and-so. Yours truly, Nancy McNeil, 16 Bruce Street.
Well, typically, if water is provided but it does not come back through the sewer system, we have given that reduction in the sewer portion of the bill. Not the capital part,
I make a
just
motion,
on this.
Just the water part of
That
it.
is
Right.
not going
Oh,
through.
yeah.
I make a motion that we approve that.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. You want me to read that list? Do I have to by law? These are the foreclosure lists. I'm gonna give this to the address is 68 Townsend Street, 162 Delaware Street, 22 Benton Avenue, 119 Delaware Street, 73 Griswold, 11 Benton Avenue, 38 North Street, 64 Delaware Street, 42 Harvey Street, and 35 Williams Street. Those are the list of properties on the foreclosure list.
Did you call him by any chance?
He knows, yes,
You spoke to him?
yeah.
Okay.
He knows
Those are
about it.
for delinquent taxes?
Yep.
Yes.
Actually, he called me that he's going to be selling,
Right, and yeah.
okay? Let's see what else I have here. Oh, very important. I realize everyone has to cut their grass, but please do not throw it and blow it out into the street. It's causing a lot of problems. It fills up the catch basins. When it rains, it's going to be flooding. It's a law. So, I mean, we've been trying to tell everybody, Steve's been trying to tell everybody, and if they continue to do it, there will be summonses issued. And I just want everybody to be aware of that.
On top of that, I mean, we have the guys running around with the street sweeper, making the streets look nice and clean, and next thing you know, they turn right around and they're full of grass within an hour of after doing the streets, so.
I've had a few words with some people, and I said, listen, I cut my grass, I go the opposite way, the grass spills one way, it can be very easily done. It just shows that people are not thinking, are not caring.
It's a law
It's a law.
that we enacted. It's a law. So the public employee of the village who went on Facebook and said that it wasn't, this is your moment not to shine because you're wrong. It's a law.
Okay, next thing, I want to thank the Vets Club, because they have been donating, and they have again this year, all the flags that you see on Bridge Street and Delaware Street, they've all been donated to the village by the Vets Club. And I would like to officially thank them for all their generosity, and it really helps make the village look better and patriotic, of course.
They're a bunch of good guys, aren't they? And gals.
And gals,
yeah.
they sure are. Not that we're
not
better,
being
none of
facetious
being
either. They're
facetious,
a
we're
good
veterans,
crew.
you know.
They're a good crew.
And another thing I just wanted to bring up to everybody, I've been getting some talking to, the village taxes did not go up this year. We did not raise our taxes.
For the first time in a long time.
We have not, and there's people calling me up and saying, well, people have to realize that there was a town-wide assessment. Some people's assessments went up, me number one, or one of them, and therefore my taxes went up. But it's not because the village have raised it, we didn't. We didn't touch our taxes at all. Whatever changes there are, it's because of the assessment, the town-wide assessment. And I just wanted people to be aware of that.
Our levy stayed the same.
Our levy stayed the same. Okay, that's it as far as and now, on number 6, the 2017-2018 fiscal year audit agreement.
Right, I forwarded that to all the trustees. And if you're all okay with it, we just need a motion to,
Make a motion to have the mayor sign it.
Yes.
You make that motion, you make the motion, need a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Is that including the court? That's a question that you had asked.
Yeah,
So
but
we're
it
gonna-
no, it doesn't have anything to do with the court.
doesn't include the court.
No. All in favor? You made two motions, right? A motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. That's it as far as here. I'd like to go into executive session for a few minutes to discuss contracts with Kraft and
Teamsters.
And Teamsters. Okay?
I need a